As we continue to look at the second day now of protesting down in Charleston, our Caitlin Stansel is downtown on Mary Street. And Caitlin, they said if you are in that area after 6 o'clock, you do run the risk of being arrested. It's after 6 now.
And here we have boarded up businesses, Black Lives Matter written. We have Justice for George. Say his name. These are the things we are seeing on the plywood of these businesses that were damaged last night. No justice, no peace. So these are some of the chants as well as some of the spray painting we are seeing here on the plywood of these businesses. And we're just trying to keep up with the protests right here.
Hold on, let's go back to Justin. Hold on, Rob. Justin, it looks like tear gas was just fired.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that's right, Bill. We're backing up now. They just released tear gas at the corner of Hudson Street. We're getting the after effects. It's a little stifling here, Bill. We're gonna just send it back to you. It's getting a little tough to breathe here.
All right, Justin, take care of yourself. My goodness, tear gas is certainly not very pleasant to breathe in, as you saw with Justin. All right, we're looking at an arrest right now. You probably can't see that, Justin, but it looks as if they're taking somebody into custody right now. Let me tell you, folks, these are live pictures from the scene of St. Philip Street near Calhoun, close to the College of Charleston, as
Bill,
the protesters have been dispersed. Caitlin, go ahead.
I want to let you know something we're seeing during this active arrest. The officer just pulled a knife out from this guy's pocket or wherever he was keeping it. I saw them holding it with, it looked like a hat. It's in the officer's left hand right there. They just arrested this guy after he was running from them up St. Philip Street. They kind of tackled him to the ground right there, a couple of officers. Now they're taking him away in handcuffs. You see that knife right there? Protester on a bicycle blocking the SWAT vehicle from moving any further. And the crowd cheering as that bicyclist is blocking the Goose Creek Police SWAT vehicle here. Protesters now gathering around that bicyclist and fully blocking that vehicle. Now the vehicle's backing up. Protesters cheering as it moves backwards.
Of course, the purpose of tear gas is to be unpleasant and disperse a crowd, and it hit Justin Beagle. Rob Way, Justin, tell me, are you okay?
Hey, Bill.
You all right?
I'm okay. I'm doing okay. We caught they shot at the protesters along Hudson Street. We caught the residue with the wind, and I had never been tear gassed before, and it stung. It goes right into your eyes. My nose immediately began to run, and I was coughing.
The crowd moving, though, away from them.
We're listening, folks.
Now there's another SWAT vehicle from Mount Pleasant. There's another SWAT vehicle on the oh, there's a canister, Rob! Move! Tear gas, they're deploying tear gas. They've deployed about 2 of them now. The crowd is starting to run. There just went another one, a third. I want to make sure our crew's okay. Rob, Allison, Lillian?
Raphael, we will be cutting in throughout the evening as necessary, should the situation require that. But right now, things are looking pretty peaceful. I'm Bill Sharp.
And I'm Raphael James. We'll see you back here in between or at 11. Hi, everybody, and welcome. This is a live look at the North Charleston Coliseum, where President Trump is expected to address this crowd made up of thousands of people. We're hoping he comes out, or expecting him to come out now any minute now.
Of course, this is just one day before the South Carolina Democratic primary. You can watch the entire speech here shortly.
That's right. We are not going anywhere. We will be here for the entirety of the president's speech. We will also be streaming it on our website, live5news.com, and we'll be right here throughout the entirety of it.
Now, we just got a few moments ago got a chance to see Air Force One land, and then pretty quickly the motorcade got to the Coliseum area. Bill
Sharp is inside of the Coliseum, Bill, and tell us what's going on right now.
Raphael, Carter, it is crazy inside the Coliseum here. I hope you can hear me. There is rock music pounding in the background, and it's got thousands of people here revved up. I mean, this place is jam-packed. They're up to the rafters everywhere I look. Thousands and thousands of Trump supporters waiting for the commander-in-chief to come out and address the crowd. He will be talking right there, just below the Keep America Great sign. In the crowd, you see a sea. Listen to that. You see a sea of red. Red Make America Great hats, red shirts, and they are ready. About an hour and a half ago, two speakers came down and they trashed the Democrats, trashed the Democratic Party, trashed Bernie, trashed Joe Biden, and the people loved it. It was red meat here at this Trump rally. Now they are ready. We've received word the president is here in the North Charleston Coliseum, but we're also receiving word he may be a tad late before he comes out, maybe fashionably late. That's the way it looks right now at the North Charleston Coliseum. These people are ready, they are revved up, and they are ready to say, we welcome President Trump. Of course, when he comes out, we'll bring that to you live right here from the North Charleston Coliseum. I'm Bill Sharp, live at the North Charleston Coliseum. I'll send it back to you in the studio, Raphael and Carter.
Well, thank you very much. It sounds like quite the party there.
They are ready, and I'm just hearing from our reporter Caitlin Stansel that they know that Tim Scott's there, Lindsey Graham is there, the governor Henry McMaster is there. People are very excited.
We are going to go back to the Coliseum on the outside this time. Our Harv Jacobs was there talking to people, some of them who had waited outside to get into this event for 24 hours. Harv, what are you seeing out there? Anybody still there?
Well, Ruff, I'm seeing some very disappointed people out here. You know, they oversold the tickets on purpose, and first come, first served. They got to the point where the fire marshal cut everybody off because the place is packed. So you see all these folks, they're a lot more earlier. And here are a couple of ladies, they're kind of to talk to us. Your name?
Jan.
And
Lee.
Okay. Jan, what was your reaction when you got up here and you saw this? Oh, and you said you can't get in. Excuse me.
Very, very disappointed. Very disappointed because we've been waiting for this. It's a big opportunity for us here.
Were you not able to come earlier? Or
No, I wasn't able to come earlier. Had to work, so had to get up here as fast as I could.
All right, Lee, what was your reaction?
Oh man, I'm just excited to be right here. I mean, I would love to have got inside, but the opportunity just being here is amazing. Yes, sir.
Are you all going to go watch on the Jumbotron over
Absolutely,
there?
yes, sir.
Yeah, I think hopefully there's room for you there.
As soon as I hear him come on back there on that TV, I'm headed that way.
All right, thank you, ladies.
Yes,
Thanks for talking.
you.
Have a wonderful
Thank
time.
you.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
All right, so those are two good sports over there. There were a couple of people who got very upset earlier. One guy yelled out he was a disabled veteran. He had some unkind words for the police officers, and they handled it very well. In fact, the police have done an awesome job controlling the crowd here and getting people inside as quickly as they could until, of course, the cutoff happened. So a lot of folks will go over to the Jumbotron right down the road over here and watch the president speak live. And we are live at the North Charleston Coliseum. Harv Jacobs, we'll send it back to you.
It makes it a little bit easier to control those crowds when they're happy and excited to be there. And some of them were even there since yesterday morning, camping out, sleeping in folding chairs just to guarantee a spot inside.
They spent the night there. And Bill was talking about the speaker trashing the Democrats. Well, on the outside, we saw a picture with Paola Tristan Neruda, and it looks like a lot of people trashed the parking lot. And we saw some workers there kind of clearing that up. Paola, what's the scene like out there now? Have they gotten all of that trash cleared up yet?
Rob, you can hear the music behind me. I'm with the overflow crowd. This is in that same parking lot where you saw all of that trash earlier, but now it's replaced by a bunch of President Trump supporters that are here watching him speak. Again, that whole Coliseum is probably filled up by now, 13,000 seats. So this is where people who didn't get a chance to go in, they're here watching it on the jumbo screen. Now I am here with Victor. So Victor, tell me how long you've been out here for.
About 7 hours.
7 hours. Did you think that you were going to get a place in, and now that you're going to have to be out here, are you okay with that? Are you okay with watching President Trump on the screen?
As long as I'm within the breathing distance of that man, I'm happy.
And what are you looking forward to most about what he might say here tonight?
Say again?
What are you looking forward to most about what he might talk about tonight?
He can talk about anything, and I'll be entertained. I just love the man to death.
And you've been out here for 7 hours. Tell me, what has it been like for you these 7 hours? Have you met any new people? What's it been like out here?
Oh, everybody's been friendly. We've been having a good time partying and everything, just talking and having reminiscing and have fun about everything.
Please welcome the President of the United States.
So now it's time. We're going to listen in live from outside the Coliseum. I'm Paula Sarita. Back to you guys in studio.
Thanks, Paula, and that's our cue. We are going back into the Coliseum now, as you heard the announcer as the president is coming into the arena. You see at the left side of your screen, there he is. He's coming in.
No doubt we'll take some time to wave hello, greet those supporters, make sure they get pictures of him.
Senator Lindsey Graham at the left there, and Senator Tim Scott shaking his hand as the president walks up towards the stage, satisfying this crowd of 13,000 people, some of them who've been waiting a very long time outside to get on the inside.
And there's even more folks outside watching who said they're going to stay and listen in. Look at all those cell phones. Everybody wants that money shot.
Now, if you have seen any of the president's rallies, you know he really likes to talk and work the crowd. He is at home behind a microphone talking to crowds of his supporters, and he can talk for hours at a time.
There may be a time limit, but that doesn't mean he's going to follow it. I think that's pretty clear from other press addresses he's done and other rallies he's done. And as the crowd cheers and pumps him up, he tends to talk even more. So this is an essential night for him to be addressing the people of South Carolina who are watching and who are there, because tomorrow anyone can go to their polling place if they're a registered voter and decide who they'd like to see on the Democratic ticket. That could be a strategic vote if you're a Republican.
Absolutely, and if you look at the crowd, we've seen young, we've seen old, we've seen Latino, we've seen black, we've seen white, we've seen a lot of different people in these crowds coming out to support the president.
And we were saying earlier, we were actually looking it up to be sure, it's been 3 years since he was last here in Charleston, visited Boeing. Today, flying in on a Boeing 747 for this big campaign rally in South Carolina.
All right, we're going to pause and listen to the president.
And right now at 6, much of the low country under a hurricane warning as Hurricane Dorian inches closer to the southern coast.
We have team coverage across the low country in Charleston, North Charleston, even in Georgetown, and at the State Emergency Operations Center in the Midlands.
We want to start first with our chief meteorologist, Bill Walsh. And Bill, you just got an update on Dorian within the last hour. What can we expect from this storm?
Well, we're going to definitely expect impacts, Ann McGill. We're talking about a slight left of the shift to the of the track, brings it a little bit closer to the South Carolina coast, but really as close as it's going to get. The impact's going to be tropical storm or hurricane force winds, 3 to 6 feet of storm surge inundation. Certainly we're going to see some power lines. We're going to see trees down.
All right, Bill, thank you. Now, take Dorian seriously. That was the message from leaders from Berkeley, Charleston, and Dorchester counties who held a news conference just a couple of hours ago. Rob Way was at that news conference and joins us now live. And Rob, they're saying now is the time to evacuate.
And both the Charleston County Chair Elliott Summey and Senator Tim Scott were urging people to be safe and remember that in a hurricane, it's not wind that's the biggest danger, it is water. So just be aware of that, and that is why they're asking folks to evacuate now while you still have time and before we really start seeing the impacts of the storm that's coming up the coast. And it's why so many places have already started preparing, like down at the Battery. They're boarded up and the front doors are blocked blocked by sandbags. Wind and water are, of course, major concerns there. And it's a sight seen all over the Lowcountry. First responders were also sending out their own message today as well. Charleston County EMS says once sustained winds go over 40 miles per hour, they will not be responding to calls. Once wind is over 30 miles per hour, you won't get a choice on which hospital you're being sent to. And Senator Tim Scott, who is also here, says if needed, the federal government is ready to help.
I will say that I've had the privilege of talking to the White House last night about their preparation to make sure that the resources necessary for those folks in the mandatory evacuation area, the 2 million of us from Florida to Virginia, we will have the resources necessary if necessary.
Folks with 911 dispatch were also here, and they were giving folks messages about when to call 911 and when to not. They said that when you have water in your house, unless that is a danger to you and your family, then do not call 911 about that. The same goes with power outages. They said unless you see electrical wires down and it's causing a hazard, then do not call 911. And those were some of the messages we heard from those leaders today. Live in Charleston County, Rob Way, Live 5 News.
All right, Rob, thank you. Harv Jacobs live in Union Heights in North Charleston, where a neighborhood with a history of flooding is getting some help to deal with Hurricane Dorian. And Harv, the mayor himself, joined in today to give sandbags to the folks who need them.
Bill, Mayor Keith Summey is very familiar with Union Heights. He says he worked here for 24 years. Well, today the mayor and others came out here to help some people who really need it. The caravan rolled through Union Heights this morning. Led by Mayor Keith Summey, they went door to door to hand out sandbags.
We were handing out sandbags, but we know that doesn't get out to everybody.
The mayor was joined by police officers, firefighters, and public works employees. They put the sandbags in front of doors at homes and buildings, including the neighborhood Senior Citizen Center.
It's nice to help the community. Very appreciative, because sometimes we're the neighborhood that is forgot about. So very appreciative.
Sandbags, man. Yes, ma'am.
North Charleston Police Chief Reggie Burgess also helped out today. Union Heights holds a special place in Burgess's heart. He grew up here and still has family living in the neighborhood.
The best thing was like my aunt walking over there talking to each other, the different people going over to each other's homes and talking with them about the needs and what to expect.
In addition to giving out the sandbags, police officers also went door to door to find out who's staying and who's leaving for the hurricane. Sergeant Gary Zimmer told those who are staying that they might want to go to a shelter instead. It was a day to help others who may need it most.
That's what we're looking for. Teamwork, my babes. There we go.
Mayor Summey says sandbags also were handed out in the Accoby and Pepper Hill neighborhoods. Live in North Charleston, Harv Jacobs, Live 5 News.
Coastal cities are getting ready for the hurricane and the rain and the wind that will come with it.
The city of Folly Beach restricting access now onto the island until the storm has passed. On Folly, Paola Tristan Aruda tells us what folks need to know.
It's something they do every time they have a hurricane. The city blocks off the island to stop too many people from coming in. During the storm, they'll be patrolling the island and monitoring conditions. City officials say everyone should be prepared for anything. They are hoping folks will evacuate, but for those who choose to stay on the island, they'll need to show 2 forms of ID to get in. Anyone who's not allowed to be here will be fined for trespassing. Mayor Tim Goodwin says these precautions are necessary.
You know, this storm, if it took one slight turn to the left, goes from being nasty with just wind and rain and some local flooding to being really nasty and destroying things.
For more information about what sort of identification you'll need, you can visit our website, live5news.com.